Hi guys, back here from Linz, European Linz as I call it, in the capital of Upper Austria. I will now guide you through this 19th of June day for European enlargement, the European Action Day, because it's very important that we have a European-wide action day for EU enlargement. The last 10 years, since the Croatians have joined, there was a very negative attitude towards EU enlargement, and it's now time to change that. This European Action Day, it will be the first of many, as I hope, of a yearly action day for EU enlargement. It should underline that all Europeans together, we want to be in the united Europe and that we are working on that unity together. Should be in Linz, should be in Vienna, should be in Brussels. I don't know how much our organizational capacity now is really managing it. I think mostly it will be the Ukrainian drive in the European Union. That's of course very important. That is actually the historic result of President Zelensky's decision to thrust his political capital so decisively on EU enlargement, and all Balkans, Georgia and Ukraine shall be eternally, and all Europe shall be eternally grateful for his great leadership, because what I always wanted to achieve, he has achieved. It took again a terrible war to get this done. It was horrible. I have talked about it a lot of times already, that it's very hard to understand why my pleas since 2016, I remember exactly when I drafted in Kosovo, when I was these 9 countries of ETR, European tax reforms, this graph, some of you might remember, which I have outlined and created the 9 countries, 6 Western Balkans, 3 Black Sea, Ukraine, Georgia, Moldova. That was visible for me, the logic of that one. And then all the efforts I've put in since 2016 in June, when I prepared this before I moved to Ukraine. And then the situation was that it took this terrible war to change and open Europe. And even today it's not 100% sure that on the 23rd the EU leaders will open up Europe and put enlargement on the strong turbo. But at least the Germans seem to be decided. The Austrians again in the Russian camp, like always. I cannot pass this energy institution here in Upper Austria and not to cry for an end of the call for an end of the energy imports from Russia, because it's very hard for me to digest that still today we are in this quite terrible situation where we have these energy imports from Russia and we cannot end it, and it's quite outrageous for me that we continue to do that. And when I listen and I read the interviews of the Austrian pro-Russian government led by the former conservative, now populist party, Austrian People's Party, and their pro-Russian leadership of Wolfgang Schüssel, who in the background monitors everything and supervises their policies, and then they have this kind of results. And they will anyhow have a major defeat, and well deserved so, because they are on their way down with their Russian links, their Russian funding, their Russian energy dependency. They have betrayed all the Christian Democrats, all conservatives, all people who believe in Europe, and they will get their justified punishment by doing so. Yes, selling out to Russia must be rewarded by electoral defeat. Yes, it's very sad conclusion I have to make on this wonderful day here in 2022. Back to my hometown, which is very beautiful, by the way. I make a bit of advertisement for my hometown. It's a beautiful place here. I made many videos already on my way back home, and I can just say it's a wonderful place. It has deserved better governance. Yes. Yeah, not to lose my thread in this walk and talk session through my beautiful hometown, I can just call for EU enlargement. That's absolutely the necessity. Of course, Austria to join NATO, of course to break with Russia economically and all the trade links, that must be done. And then also to open up the EU towards enlargement. And that's why we should have this European-wide action day, and Austria hopefully will because I think the Eastern Europeans, Central Europeans, our fellow EU Europeans will have no understanding if Austria, France and Germany block EU enlargement for Ukraine. And if it looks like that we cannot even manage the Bulgarians who Putin controls one party. He has created his own populist party there. They are part of the Bulgarian government coalition, and they seem to be able to block that party, and they will hopefully not. But as it seems, even Scholz was not able to really change their direction in his very good visit. Actually, I was this week I'm very happy with Olaf Scholz. He performed perfectly in Serbia, telling Vučić to recognize Kosovo, otherwise not to join the EU. I mean, that's the new music theater. There's a Ukrainian benefits concert on the 17th of June. Very good, excellent, and really very, very good. That is something I recommend. And here, Linz is actually full of solidarity with Ukraine. That is very good. But the solidarity is one thing that's of course needed and I congratulate everybody who has things to donate, give money, collect things, bring them. That's very good. But my focus is the political future of Ukraine in the EU and in NATO and in the Euro. You know that one. But here I want to focus on the Action Day, the historic achievement of the Ukrainians, the wise leadership of Zelensky to focus on that beautiful. But it's interesting, for example, there's no pro-Ukraine banner here. It's also because of the coalition which they have here with the nationalists and the, of course, anti-Ukrainian. Austrian politics is very simply explained. Most parties are anti-Ukrainian, but at least morally the centrist parties, the liberals, the Greens and the Christian Democrats and Social Democrats are for supporting Ukraine. Now they managed actually to get the Ukrainian parliament president to speak virtually in the Austrian parliament. They settled it somehow, but Zelensky is normally doing that in Austria. That was supposedly not to be possible because of our neutrality. Another sign that Austrian neutrality must be ended. It's a left-wing project of nationalistic nature. It's a Stalin's idea. It's submission to Russia, and the Austrian politicians all behave exactly like that. And it's something I absolutely dislike and recommend to end it. Yes, that's the situation here at the 23rd. But you know what we need to do is all the countries to be united, to work together and to overcome our internal differences between Serbia and Kosovo. And you know, that was Scholz very good saying it to Vučić in his face that he should recognize, and that is very, very good, and I liked it. And that was very good. Also in Bulgaria he was clear to have Macedonia to go ahead, and that was very good. And here the doggy wants to say hello to me. That's one of the social hotspots of Linz. I already made the case that this is something we have to improve in another video when I was in Linz about integration and immigration, openness and the virtue of all this and the leadership required to get this done. And that's very good. Yes, here we are in this beautiful place. Linz is a very nice place, by the way. I recommend you to visit it. It's a beautiful town with a tragic past, but with a good future in a enlarged Europe. It's a logical trading center between the Danube towards Ukraine and the Black Sea and of course to the Balkans, and that is a very good and nice place to live, but unfortunately the government is not up to the task to administer this potential. Yes, we are here in Linz, and that I wanted to say. Scholz was very good. Now they are going to Ukraine, Macron and Draghi together. That I think could be a historic visit if they manage it well, and if they make the clear message of EU membership, which I hope they will do. And that would be wonderful. Then I'm very happy on that front. Then the summit to say yes to Ukraine. Then of course the package with Macedonia, Albania, Bosnia new candidate status. I cannot get my head around that the Kosovo government has not applied for EU candidate status. That's for me very unclear. It will be the only EU potential candidate status in that scenario. Let's see what will be the final outcome of the summit. If the summit rejects Ukraine, I will turn into a big anti-European campaigner. Be sure about it. And all the people who voted no, I promise, I will work against them. As I have decided to work against the People's Party as a pro-Russian front, I will also work very strongly against the people who vote no for Ukraine, against Ukraine on the 23rd of June. Make that very clear. I will use all my effort and all my capacity to fight against such decision makers. Yes, good. We will do interesting and good work in the future also. But what you can do if you want to support is to be in your social media feed on the 19th and say Enlarge EU and simply be for the European Union and make it clear that from Georgia to Albania, from Montenegro to Moldova, Bosnia, all countries, all 9, they should be in the EU, and we need to speed up because we had this period from 2013 to 2022 where appeasement and weak-hearted, faint-hearted people with no kind of, how can I say, really real beliefs. Because when you believe something, you say you're pro-Europe, but not for new countries, or not now, or not for common debt. What kind of pro-Europe is this? Yeah? I mean, when you are supporting the reforms, the principal idea, that was the debate of the 1950s. So now if you're pro-Europe, you have to be in the topics of today, in the big enlargement debate, in the big debt debate, yeah, in the big economic transformational debate in the euro. If you are thinking that Europe is only good for the ones who are already inside and not to provoke Russia, because Europe, hey, that's not pro-European today in 2022. That was nice in 92, 30 years ago, and then you missed the last 30 years. Good, you missed them. Then you're stuck somewhere in the past. That's of course dramatic, and I'm very sorry then, but we need to go into the next level of development, of Europeanness. That's of course NATO, EU, Euro enlargement, as I have outlined for the 9 countries, and also for the countries who for some reasons, like the Schengen exclusion of Romania and Bulgaria, the utter inconsistency of our European politics in the 3rd and 4th term, where Merkel went to the left again after she has basically tortured Westerwelle by rejecting the tax reform, and then she has led to the 2013 turn to the left, and that was nefarious for Europe. In Germany, of course, then you had this big disaster of Obama leaving exactly that Germany, Europe to manage, and leaving Russia to manage in a way Syria and Ukraine, and a completely distant Obama, like he would be outer-worldly figure, detached from the world's responsibilities. Yeah, that was Obama 2012 to 2016, and only such a Obama could open the way for this terrible Trump, the instrument of Putin. Yeah, he is very dynamic, a lot of work. Linz is booming. Why? Because there is a lot of people from Southeastern Europe, Albanians and Macedonians and from Kosovo, and they are bringing this city to the next level by their work. That's very good. I'm very happy for that, and it will be a very dynamic city. I'm happy I could contribute to the EU enlargement of 2004 and 2007. I was not so much involved in 2013, but I pushed very hard for the EU application during this and other times. Took some time, I was already in the Balkans. I see that as my life missions to bring new countries in the European Union, and now it's time for the 9+, and of course the full integration and the full completion of the EU enlargement of 2004 and 7 and 13, because now 13 actually Croatia is doing very good, but there is this xenophobic rejection of Romania and Bulgaria, which is very annoying and it's very terrible. Yes, that's the situation. Today I will do a Linz action day. Linz goes Europe, Upper Austria goes Europe. I will release many videos in my native language here in Upper Austria, and that will be very good. I will work on that, and I will keep you posted obviously on that development in that beautiful day of 2022. And when you can, it would be wonderful to make some event this week on 19th, wherever you are. I call everybody to, because my contacts in Brussels are no longer so strong, because I was many years not there. But if you're in Brussels or anywhere in the world, wave a European flag on the 19th, do something for enlargement, and let's make some joint pressure for unity and for a united Europe as an answer to Russian aggression, war, brutality. We're the good side of the light, they are the bad side, they are the enemy, and Europe is the answer. And thanks America and NATO for the intervening, hopefully in the future, but for also at least supporting Ukraine. And we must be all more united in this beautiful year 2022 and for the decade to come. Our weakest decade, the 70s. Now the competition is the 2010s. They were our second weakest decade since the Second World War, and we have to overcome it in the 2020s with a much stronger Europe. Thanks a lot for that. More to come from Pax Europiana here from Linz, my Linz Action Day 2022. Bye, and please do something on the 19th of June. Bye.